Now, the big debate raging in different parts of the country is over BT Brinjal, the first genetically modified food which could be introduced in India. Environment Minister Jairam Ramesh has held public consultations in different cities. He's going to take a final decision on it later this month. Now, we've seen lots of civil rights groups, farmer groups opposing BT Brinjal. But is their opposition based on fear, a fear of the unknown, or is it backed by science? Prachi Butcher now brings you either sides of the divide.
The X factor, the unknown, that has consumers worried. Critics of genetically modified crops say that it's nothing short of tampering with nature. Yet experts feel that more than 50 years ago, when the Green Revolution changed the way India farmed and hybrid crops were introduced, there were similar fears. They proved unfounded.
Not exactly, I would say, tampering with nature. That this method, compared to conventional breeding tools, is much more precise and accurate, that you don't disturb the whole genetic constitution of a plant. Rather, precisely and accurately, you incorporate and insert the gene which is required.
But not everyone agrees. Scientists who've studied India's agricultural patterns since the 60s are quick to point out that unlike the hybrid varieties of wheat which were introduced during the Green Revolution, here multiple genes from multiple organisms are being crossed, something that could have far-reaching consequences in the long run.
To err on the side of safety rather than to err on the side of, all right, I get a higher yield, so I go after it, because human health is very important. And you will not know the damage today or tomorrow. It may be 5 years from now, 4 years from now.
From the Green Revolution of the 60s to experiments with transgenic crops over the last decade, India's agricultural science has undergone a 360-degree turn. But despite this, many are unhappy with the current gene revolution and say that it throws up more questions than answers. In New Delhi, Prachi Butcher for NDTV.
Now, the big question in the minds of consumers is whether BT Brinjal, the first genetically modified food proposed to be introduced in India, is actually fit and safe for human consumption. Uma Sudhir now brings you the arguments for BT Brinjal and against it.
Time of reckoning for the Indian consumer. The government will soon decide whether or not to allow genetically modified brinjal in the country. BT Brinjal will look like ordinary brinjal, but will have a bacterial gene that will produce toxins to fight pests.
There are serious health risks associated with genetically modified foods, and particularly the BT crops. BT food crops is a serious issue, and the toxin which remains in the crop, as well as the process of modification itself being imprecise, is leaving residues which are becoming very harmful.
BT Brinjal has reportedly been checked for toxicity, allergies and other unintended effects on animals. But activists point out that no third-party independent biosafety tests have been conducted.
Every country in the world has quite a lot of toxicology studies going in private lab. What the government and regulator only assures is, we look at the data, we can inspect, we can examine and satisfy ourselves that the data is absolutely genuine, and only then we send it for approval. I can say with confidence BT Brinjal is absolutely safe for human consumption.
Those arguing for BT Brinjal claim it will reduce pesticide usage, but others warn that once introduced, the consumer will not know whether the brinjal is genetically modified or not, because there is no labeling mechanism. With the public hearings, the people of the country have for the first time got an opportunity to debate on whether or not they want to eat BT Brinjal. With strong arguments put forth by lobbies arguing for and against BT Brinjal, it will be a tough and historic decision that the minister will be making. In Hyderabad, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Tuba.com